Hello, beautiful people, and some people, wonderful mates, and to all my amazing subscribers. Yeah, this is Jeannie Signatures, and of course, it's Jeannie. So, today I'll be making this off shoulder kind of gown with a George, this African George that they call. So, that was the inspiration, and of course, this is what I made. This looked beautiful. So if this is what you're interested in, like having a fox wrapper, you understand? So this is what I'll be making today. So if this is what you're interested in, please kind of watch till the end. And please ignore any background noise. Thank you. So I'll try as much as possible to make this video enjoyable, but there are some parts that will not be there. So that parts will entirely be dependent on your creativity. So but without wasting time, let's just get right into the content of the tutorial. So that is what we're going to be doing right now. So I'll be making use of a pattern paper for that. So I already have my pattern paper on the table, as you can see, and I'm making use of a plain paper. I'm not folding it into two, so it's just like a single paper on the table. So I've already gone ahead to draft out like my basic bodies. So if you know how to draft out the basic bodies, just kindly go ahead and do that. So I'm just trying to label the lines, as you can see. There you can see my chest line, my bust points, my underbust, and then of course my waistline, because we'll be joining these to a lower part that will be the skirt part. So now without wasting time, let's get right into the tutorial proper. So the first thing I will be making use of is to divide my bust span measurement into two. And the bust span measurement of my client is 8 inches, so I divided that into two, and that gave me 4. And so to that I'll be adding half an inch for joining, so I'll be marking at 4.5 inches. That is what you see me marking on those lines, as you can see. So I'll mark it all the way to the chest line and then to the waistline. So I'll be rolling that out as a straight line. So like we have various ways in which we can achieve this, but I did this and it came out very beautiful, so you can try yours as well. So in order to place my darts, I'm just going to be placing my darts under my underbust measurement. So to that I'll be making use of 2.5 inches, and that will be going to from the camera angle, that should be on the right hand side. So I'll be placing 2.5 inches on the underbust and of course on the waistline. So I'll be connecting that as you see me do. And then on my bust point, I'll be coming down by half an inch, or if you like, you can come down by 1 inch. So, and then I will be curving that out to give my curve, breast curve, yeah. So you can see I already have my breast curve as you see me do. And so for the middle parts, for the waist area, I'll just come in by half an inch on the right hand side, as you can see. Oh, sorry, on the left hand side. I'll mark half an inch, and from that half an inch I'll just be connecting from that 1 inch I came down with, or half an inch I came down with from my bust point. I'll just connect it like so, so you can see the way it is. So I just use half an inch for that. So my client is like on the big bust side a little, so that is why I opted for that. So in order to determine how off I would want the off shoulder to be, because my client does not want it to be too off, I'm just going to be marking 4.5 inches from my shoulder area. So like the last tutorial that I made, I did my off shoulder entirely in a different pattern, and this is another pattern on how to achieve your off shoulder. So that is why I did this differently from that one, but you're going to be achieving the same thing. So but it depends on what you want. So now I'll be taking my darts. So I just had to extend my bust span measurement up to that level, so that I'll take in the darts for the round neckline, so that it will be tight, here. So I'm marking half an inch on this side and then 1 inch on the other side. So I'm going to be connecting that to my bust point area. And on the bust point area, just go up by half an inch so that it will not be pointed. So that is what I did. So I'll just connect that like so. So just follow exactly what I'm doing, and then you're going to be getting exactly what I did. So you can see we already have our darts taken in. So the upper part, like I'm cancelling that place, will not be needed again. So from that place down is what we're going to be making use of. And so in order not to avoid in order to avoid any shortages, I need to put back that 1.5 inches that I used for my dart on the shoulder and for the armhole area, so that I won't run into any problem. So that is what I just extended, and I'm ruling out that line like so. So I'll be carving out a new armhole to that effect. So before doing that, I'll just divide my bust measurement by 4. Whatever I have, I'll mark it, and then I'll add half an inch. Because of that, that's in the middle, I'll add half an inch to that, and then I'll add my sewing allowances. Okay, so I've carved out my new armhole, as you can see. So basically, I'll just be taking my waist measurement. I'm going to be making use of my waist measurement for my under bust and then my waistline respectively. So I'm just trying to use my tape rule to divide that so that I'll get it accurately. So I just divided my bust now. I added that. Sorry about that. My my student was there, so I just added that. And I added my sewing allowances. So I'll go to my under bust measurement, and then I'll be inverting my waist measurement, and then I'll add sewing allowances. And then I'll put back the darts that I took from here. I did 2.5 on one side and half an inch on one side. So that will be like 3 inches. So I'll have to add it back to that so that I won't run into any shortages. And then, of course, I'll be adding my normal sewing allowances. I added 2.5 inches for my sewing allowance, but if you want, you can add 3 inches for yours. So now I'll be connecting from my bust to my waist area, like so. So you can see that I'm basically through. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to come to the neckline to get my neckline. Then placing my tape as it is, like 4.5 inches, like so. And then I'll be marking, depending on how deep you want I'll be making use of a sweetheart neckline. I don't want it to be too deep because my client does not want that, so I'll just make use of 6 inches. And then I'll be using my curved ruler to carve out the neckline for that. And so that is it. So I'm just basically going to be cutting this out, and then we're through with the front pieces. So we're just trying to explain something there that is not really necessary for this tutorial, yeah? So let me just cut it out. I'll be doing that off camera. So I've already cut it out, as you can see. So this is what we have for front pieces. So let's just go right ahead to cutting of the back piece. So yes, I have my paper already. I had to use some paper tape to hold that in place so that it will not be flipping up and down. So the first thing I'm going to be getting now is my zipper allowance, and to that I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. If you like, you can make use of 2 inches, but I'm making use of 1.5 inches. So that is what you see me marking. So I'm intentionally not fast forwarding this place. I just want to leave it just because I want you to enjoy the tutorial. So just connect it like so. So that's why I wrote zip allowance. So any markings that you're making will be from that zip allowance. And so I just going to draft out the basic bodies that I did in the front piece. That is what I'm just trying to get now. So I don't think it's really necessary for me to start explaining that, because most of us should already be used to this kind of thing. So that is why. So I'll just allow it to play out as it is. So when it gets to where I'm supposed to talk, I'll talk. So if you've enjoyed watching this tutorial up to this level, what are you waiting for? Please kindly hit on the subscribe button, kindly like, kindly share, and kindly give this video a thumbs up, yeah? And please kindly leave comments, beautiful comments. And so yes, the next thing I'll be doing now is to just divide my bust measurement by 4, whatever that is. I'm going to be marking that, and then I'll add 2.5 inches as my sewing allowance, and then I'm going to be carving out my armhole curve. So let me make use of my pattern master here. And so on the waist area, I'll just be dividing my waist measurement by 4 as well. And then I'm adding 1 inch for that, and then 2.5 inches for sewing allowance as well. And then I'll connect that, my bust to my waist. And then in order to get all that, I'm going to be marking my bust span measurement divided into 2, and then I'll connect it like so. And now remember that this is going to be an off shoulder. So like what I did in the front, I'll just come down here and mark 4.5 inches, and then I'll roll that out on a straight line. So that is where our off shoulder is going to be starting from. And so I'll be extending my bust span measurement up to that place. And so I'll be taking in my darts. Just come down by 1 inch. And then you take half inch on both sides, just the way we do our normal regular darts. And then you connect that. So we have our darts. And so the next thing I'm going to be doing now is just get our neckline. Okay, before that, let me just do something about the zipper area so that we'll avoid bulginess at the back. So I'm taking in half an inch from the waistline, and then I'm going to be slanting it all the way up so that there will not be bulginess at the back area. So for the neckline, I'll just be placing my tape by 4.5 inches like so, and then I'll come down by probably 2 or 3.3 inches. But I think I made use of 1.5 inch. And then I will carve out like a round neckline for the back, like so. And so we're basically through with the back as well. So I'm just trying to ascertain my whatever. So now I'll just be cutting this out and we are basically through. You can see that it's very easy. So we have our front pieces and then we have our back pieces. So now I'll just go ahead and cut it out on my fabrics and then show you. So you can see I've already cut it out. I'm making use of a doll face for the lining because you know this upper part is going to be a net. You know all these georges that comes in 3 pairs. We have the net for the blouse, then the net as a wrapper, and then the normal material. So but for this is the blouse part. So I've cut out a doll face for it, and then I cut out the net, and then I used a doll face as the lining as well. On the doll face I'll be using as a lining, I ironed a gum stay on it so that it will give it stability. It won't be too soft, not too hard of a gum stay, the medium type. So I ironed it very well. So that is what I'm trying to show you here, that I've cut everything out, the net, the lining, and then the material, the doll face that is lining the net itself. So those are the pieces that I have right there. So you can see the middle part and then the side part and all. So I'm just trying to show you basically how I'm going to be turning it. So it's on the lining that I ironed the gum stay. Please take note, not on the one that goes with the net, because if you iron it on the one that goes with the net, to make it too rumpled. So I would advise you just iron it on the lining so that the lining will be rumpled and it will not show. So these are all the other pieces that I've gone ahead. So I'll be assembling this off camera. I'm not going to be showing you how I sew this. You just be seeing the end part of it because I don't want this tutorial to be too long. So let's just go ahead to doing of the skirt. And for this skirt part, actually I'm going to be fast forwarding it because most of us know how to cut skirts, and I've even done several tutorials on how to cut this skirt part. That is why I just felt like it will be a waste of time, so I just had to fast forward it so that this tutorial will not be too lengthy. So that is why. But when I get to where I want you to see the tutorial proper, I will just go back to the normal. I won't forward it by then, so please kindly enjoy. So I've cut out the front piece as at here, so you can see this is the front piece, and then the back piece I'll just place it like so and fold as well. And then I'm just adding my zipper allowances, and then I'm going to be cutting out exactly. So the only thing is just add your zipper allowance and then cut out exactly what you have there. And so yes, we have our front piece and then we have our back pieces. So now we are going to be going over to the main thing. So you can see I've gone ahead to use my doll face because I made use of a doll face to turn all this around. So I've added my half length to this skirt part, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to be showing you now is how to attach that Faux wrapper. That's wrapper that you always see on a george that people, it will be as if they tied the wrapper. No, it was sewn on it like a gown. So when you see it, you think the person is tying a wrapper. So this is the wrapper that I'm going to be making use of, because it comes like 3-in-1 in the george when you buy it. I don't know why I did not show it when I started. I even thought I had done the video. I'm so sorry, I didn't know that I didn't show the video. So want to be attaching this. So when you want to tie a wrapper in African setting, Igbo to be precise, we always tie our george to the left hand side, as in our wrapper. Whether it's Ankara, whether it's george, we always tie it from right to the left. So it always comes to the left hand side. So that is why you can see my back pieces. I need to do this before I fix my zipper. So that is why I brought out these two back pieces like so. And this is what I'll be making use of to achieve that part that will look like a wrapper, as you saw on the thumbnail. So I will be placing it like so. You know, it's net like, but it has enough beads. It's beaded, as in really beaded. This thing you're seeing is very heavy. It is very, very, very heavy. But we move. So before you start pleating anything, because we're going to be making pleats, not gathers. I think pleat is better. If you gather it, it won't. Pleating is the best. So I'll just come down 2 inches from my waistline. You can come down 3 inches depending on how low you want it to be, but I'll make use of 2 inches is better. So as you see, I just placed the net like so on it, as you can see me do, and so I'll be pleating it like so. And when you are pleating, make sure your pleating is aligned. Like if you're pleating upwards, let it be upwards. If you're pleating downwards, let it be downwards. Not that you pleat some up, you pleat some down. No, it won't give you that wrap effect. Yeah, so you need to be very sure of the direction you're headed before pleating this. So let me just get my pins, and then I'm going to be pinning this, and then I'll take it to the sewing machine. I'll go and sew it down first and then attach my zipper. I'll make use of a stone zipper because you can't make use of a small zipper for this kind of fabric. You need to make use of a stone zipper so that it will look beautiful. We have they have different colors of that stone zipper. I think it's being sold for 1,200 or thereabout now. So I got that for this. So that's what I'll be making use of. So I'm going to be pleating it like I said, and then I'll take it to the sewing machine and do it, and then come back and show you how it will be looking. But before then, I just had to get my pins. You need to pleat and then you pin it down so that when you take it to the sewing machine, it won't give you trouble. It will be very easy for you to sew. So that is the whole essence of getting pins, to hold it in place. As you are pleating, be pinning it. And when you are pinning this thing, just ensure that, you know, when you're tying a wrapper, there's some distances between the major wrapper and then the second wrapper. So in this instance, the skirt is like the first wrapper, and now this other net that I'm pinning right now is like the second wrapper. So there's some distances between the two wrappers so that it will show that you're tying a wrapper. So like for mine, I left like 12 inches distance between the two wrappers so that you would see the difference between the two, where one started and where one stopped and all that, if you understand what I mean. So that is what I'm trying to pin right there. You just keep pinning until you get to your desired length. So as you're pinning, you keep arranging the pleats. So we have different ways we can achieve this. This is not the only method. Maybe subsequently I'm going to be making a tutorial on another way that we can attach this wrapper of a thing. I'm going to be making a tutorial shortly on how to go about another pattern of this. But this was what my client requested. This was the style she wanted, so that is why I'm making use of this particular type. But there are other types, ways we can achieve this wrapper, and it all comes out looking beautiful. So you can see the pleats that they are looking beautiful. So is this pleats that you're seeing now when you want to tie the thing, or when you want to attach it to the other side of the gown? This is the same way you are going to be arranging the pleats. and it will come out very beautiful as you saw on the thumbnail. So you can see what I was trying to explain that time. That is the distance between the skirt and then the wrapper. So I think I want mine to get to this level. But if you want to go further, you can just split again and then take it higher. Well, I'm trying to leave mine here. So I just wanted to stay in how many inches. I think I have 12 inches there. So which is perfect. So I'll take this to the sewing machine now, having pinned everything down, then go and sew it and then come back to show you how it looks. So yes, I've gone ahead to do that so you can see how it looks. I've gone ahead to sew it down and I fixed my zipper. So this is how it looks. Can you see? So when you open it up, just take it easy. You know it's a stone zip, so it's kind of somehow sometimes. So just take it easy when you're opening it up like so. So you can see the way it came out. It came out very beautiful. For that lower part, you can just sew it down or you can just leave it like that. There's no problem, no love lost. It's still looking beautiful. So for the upper part now, the front part, I'm just going to be bringing that part. I'll close it up. So this is the bust area part. I've already gone to sew that as well, as you can see. So I'll just place it on top, close it up, and I'm not going to be showing you how I placed all those things at the front of the blouse because it took me time. And that place is just all about your creativity. Is where your creativity comes into place, because for that blouse part I had to scatter the whole nets. I cut out all the appliques on it and then started gumming it and started sewing some on it. But before you do all those things, you need to pin them down. If you feel this looks good, then you can start using your B6000 or E6000 and then you start gumming it to the front of the clothes. That was how I achieved that. I didn't make a video on how I did that, but I just felt like that is just a creativity that you have to have before you can achieve that. You may even do your own and it will be better than mine, but this is what I achieved after everything. So you can see the skirt and the fox wrapper, the way it came out. And for the net side of the bust area, just use the remaining nets just like you saw on the model. That was how I achieved this. So I believe you enjoyed watching this tutorial. Please, if you enjoyed watching it, kindly subscribe, kindly like, kindly share, and kindly give this video a very big thumbs up. Thank you all. It came out very beautiful. This camera was not even doing justice to the beauty it's showing. So thank you all and God bless you all. See you all on my next tutorial. Love you all. Kisses and bye. See you on my next tutorial. This is Junior Signatures and I'm signing out.